It's overcast and windy as Aberdeen start the match, hoping to overcome their disappointment of midweek with a much-trained side. St Mirren, on the other hand, have been able to play almost at full strength. They're without Gardner Spears and their long-term absentee Tony Fitzpatrick, but any other injury worries they had before the match have clearly now cleared up. And wearing number 11 for St Mirren, playing his first match, is young Paul Chalmers, signed from Celtic, the son of the man who scored the winning goal in the European Cup final 1967, Steve Chalmers of Celtic. So Aberdeen's free kick in the far side, taken short by Mitchell. It's Paul Wright. Steve Gray on the far side. The cross is blocked for the corner kick by Derek Hamilton, a former Aberdeen player. So Aberdeen winning the first corner there without McKimmie, McLeish, Simpson, Bett, Hewitt and Weir. So it's a very much changed Aberdeen lineup as they try to make an early impact in the match. On the corner kick on the left, on the right there, taken by Robert Connor. Headed away by Hamilton. There's Frank McGarvey. It's picked up by Gray for Aberdeen. The shot causing no problems for Campbell Money. Aberdeen lined up with a teenage front three of Steve Gray, Joe Miller and Paul Wright, with experience behind them though in the form of John McMaster, wearing number 8 and playing in midfield for his first match of the season. Irvin looking for Gray on the right. Very strong on the ball, Steve Gray. Testing Derek Hamilton. That's a good cross from Gray, just beyond Connor. The tackle from McQueen gets possession back for Aberdeen. And Hamilton happy to play it out. Dougie Bell picks it up in midfield on the left for St Mirren. But Gray posing serious problems for the St Mirren defence with his powerful running on the right. Neil Cooper taking no chances. And Godfrey inviting Money to send the long ball forward. It's well judged by Irvin. The layoff from Connor, picked up by McQueen. Godfrey thumping it forward as the rain begins to fall at Love Street. Strong breeze behind St Mirren. There's McGarvey. Now Hamilton. Lambert challenging, and it's cleared by Connor. Hamilton using Neil Cooper behind. Good challenge by Irvin once again on McGarvey. Very awkward ball that for Lambert. So Lambert and Brian Hamilton combining well, getting support from Abercrombie. Good play from St Mirren. Here's McGarvey. Plenty of power in the shot, but Leighton was perfectly positioned. That's some good play there from St Mirren on the right. Lambert, Brian Hamilton, and then Billy Abercrombie involved. A good tackle by Connor, almost stopping the St Mirren attack, but it broke for McGarvey, and that's a good shot, well saved by Leighton. Now Bell, the layoff from Chalmers. McQueen was there in front of Lambert. Good challenge by McMaster. Stark takes over. Miller over carrying the ball. He was beaten by Lambert. Free kick's been given him for the challenge by McMaster and McGarvey. Quickly taken to Abercrombie. And that certainly wasn't far away. Watched closely all the way past by Jim Leighton. Well, St Mirren certainly willing to shoot on sight. It was Billy Abercrombie's left foot shot, wind assisted, which was carefully watched by Leighton. Good turn by Gray. Running out of space in the touchline though. It's gone for the St Mirren throw. Cooper. And a collision between Chalmers and Mitchell results in a free kick to St Mirren. Here's Chalmers. Irvin's tackle was solid enough to get the ball back to Leighton. So So 20 minutes of the first half gone, and I fancy Aberdeen may be more content with the opening exchanges than St Mirren. Settling down well against the wind. And carrying a lot of menace up front with these young men, Wright, Miller and Gray. Here's Bell for St Mirren. Good dribbling from Dougie Bell. He's got Chalmers ahead of him. And a good effort from Bell. Well, that was vintage Dougie Bell in midfield, coming from his own half, showing his control and confidence in the ball, wriggling between two Aberdeen players, striding forward for the right foot shot, which is just a couple of feet wide of Leighton's right hand post. There's Steve Clark. Beyond Willie Miller. Mitchell was there for Aberdeen to provide the cover. There's Bell. Now McGarvey. Robbed by Mitchell. Connor now with time. An accurate ball for Joe Miller, who takes up very good position on the flanks. Whenever Aberdeen a possession from defence. Testing the pace of Brian Hamilton. Still Joe Miller. Beyond Connor. Here's Stark. Mitchell wants it on the right. He has Gray ahead of him. Perhaps too far out, I think, for Brian Mitchell to test Campbell Money against the wind. Now Bell. Brian Hamilton. Now Lambert. Far post cross, well won by Miller. And Master lets it bounce. Abercrombie and Connor clash. It's a free kick to St Mirren, the foul by Connor. It's another moment of danger for the Aberdeen defence as Peter Godfrey makes his way towards the far corner of the box. Lofted in by Clark, a header by Stark. Here's Bell. Chalmers back towards Bell. Blocked by Miller. Miller again winning the challenge with Clark. Good play from Hamilton. Until the cross that was. He did well to change pace to go past Robert Connor, but he was off balance when he attempted to play the ball across the face of the goal. Cooper. Here's Steve Gray. Now Mitchell. The long ball intended for Joe Miller. It almost fell kindly for him. The chance is on, and Billy Stark sends it home to give Aberdeen the lead. So, misunderstanding there in the St Mirren defence, and the Aberdeen top scorer Billy Stark cashes in. So 6 minutes from half time. A fine move over on the right from Aberdeen. Gray releasing Mitchell initially. Mitchell coming forward. As the ball came across, it looked as though Joe Miller may get his head to the ball. It seemed that Campbell Money had things under control, but he let the ball slip out of his grasp, and there was Billy Stark to knock it into the empty net. So Stark's 6th goal of the season, a very prolific goal scorer from midfield for Aberdeen, as he was for St Mirren before that. And Aberdeen getting the opening goal, which I reckon on the play they just about deserve. Here's Hamilton. And the equaliser from Paul Lambert. A perfect reply from St Mirren inside 60 seconds. Jim Leighton is disconsolate. And the young 17-year-old St Mirren winger gets his first goal of the season. Well, this just proves how difficult life is for goalkeepers when there's a swirling wind in the stadium. This long, deep cross misjudged by Leighton. The perfect timing from Paul Lambert, and St Mirren are back on level terms. Brian Hamilton. Bell forward to Cooper. A good tackle from Irvine. There's Brian Hamilton. First time effort from Abercrombie. Didn't catch it properly and made it easy enough for Leighton in the end. But St Mirren pressing home their confidence as they try to cash in on the equaliser towards half-time and get a lead to carry them into the second half when they'll have to face the breeze. So an Aberdeen throw in the far side. We're inside the final minute of the first half. Miller wide to Mitchell. It's towards Paul Wright. There's McMaster. Sending it wide, looking for McQueen. Lambert's there for St Mirren, and there goes the half-time whistle. Honours even in the end, and that really was a tale of two goalkeepers. The match played mostly in midfield until the 39th minute, when a good attack on the right from Aberdeen ended in a cross which Campbell Money appeared to have held. He fumbled it and Billy Stark cashed in, but within 60 seconds St Mirren were right back in level terms, and this time it was the Scotland goalkeeper Jim Leighton who misjudged the flight of the ball in the wind, and there was young Paul Lambert to bullet home the header, which sends the teams in at half-time all square. St Mirren 1, Aberdeen 1. Welcome back to Love Street. St Mirren now playing against the wind. The sun shining though for the second half. And Aberdeen have had to make a change at half-time. And it's a very significant one at that, with Robert Connor, their international midfield player, staying off after the knock he took in the first half. And the replacement is Willie Falconer, a very useful, versatile youngster in the Aberdeen squad. And some great skill again from Dougie Bell. Wright and Clark in a wrestling match, and the decision goes Aberdeen's way, much to the annoyance of Steve Clark. McQueen to Faulkner. There's good play from Faulkner, and good handling by Money in the St Mirren goal. Really unhappy that Faulkner was allowed to find the space to send that ball across. So the central defenders, Godfrey and Cooper, combined to send it back again to Money. See how he does against the wind from hand. That's a good driven ball actually, and that leaves Mitchell to make the clearance. Miller to Gray. Mitchell doing well in the overlap. Here's Paul Wright. Good control with the chest initially. He didn't get the shot on target, but a very lively attacker indeed, Paul Wright, for Aberdeen. Here's Faulkner again. Looking for Steve Gray on the far side. Ball was out as Gray gathered it, so it's a St Mirren throw. So here's Hamilton playing it forward. McGarvey checking inside, showing good control again, releasing Ryan Gallagher in the box. A chance for St Mirren. And the wind carrying the ball away from Billy Abercrombie. Hamilton doing well to retrieve it. The tackle came from Joe Miller, but this is Abercrombie for St Mirren. Cooper, the layoff from McGarvey. Cooper again, that's for Gallagher. He's away from Leighton, and it's Brian Mitchell who thumps it clear. Brian Gallagher thought he was fouled by the Aberdeen keeper. He's going to protest to the referee now, and referee Hope waving aside both Gallagher and Bell. But a moment of real danger there for Aberdeen as that high ball came forward into the box. Gallagher setting off in chase, Leighton coming to meet him. The collision between the players and Brian Mitchell thumping it away. Need forward by Derek Hamilton. This is Brian Mitchell again. Good positioning up front by Paul Wright. Came off his marker well. Joe Miller now hugging the right touchline for the moment. Wright again making a good run. An awkward one for Money, and well taken indeed by the St Mirren keeper. Willie Faulkner sprinted towards the near post area. Irvine under pressure from McGarvey, and the St Mirren strikers away from the tall Aberdeen centre half. He's showing a good ton of pace though, Irvine, to get back. McGarvey forced to use Lambert behind. Abercrombie. Bell with a return pass. Bell once again. Going right into the box. It was blocked by Stark, and Willie Miller trying the whole play up for Leighton. A foul by Gallagher, I think. Well, a very important block inside the 6-yard box from Billy Stark as that ball came in from Dougie Bell. Could so easily have knocked that into his own net. Wilson's clearance. Irvine standing his ground to knot it down, only as far as Lambert. McIntyre, the interception by Godfrey. Now Wilson. McGarvey going up with Mitchell. Free kick is given against Mitchell. Again protesting that McGarvey was backing in. And as Mitchell stood his ground, he was penalised by referee Hope, and this is certainly promising for St Mirren at the edge of the box. Certainly against the wind, but it's close enough in, just 19 yards out. Abercrombie, Lambert, Steve Clark having a discussion around the ball. Leighton organising the wall. Fancy Steve Clark may have a go at this. No, it's Abercrombie. And a fine save from Leighton. Well, a superb free kick from Abercrombie. But there's top-class goalkeeping from Jim Leighton, flying to his left. So a young St Mirren fan still hoping that his team may collect their first league win of the season. So 3 minutes left as Clark drives forward from the back again for St Mirren. Here's Tom Wilson. Hamilton through the inside right channel. Behind Gallagher, there's a chance for Clark. Superb sweeping move from St Mirren. Well set up. It was Brian Hamilton who created the space, going through the inside right channel to take that forward pass. The slanted ball, Steve Clark coming charging forward from full back. Plenty of power in the shot, but the direction wasn't there.